Clinton says congratulations to the DeWitt County 4-H'ers that brought their animals, displays, and exhibits to this year's fairs. You've made all of us in DeWitt County proud. Hats off to the local 4-H'ers for their hard work at this year's fair from Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton, where they offer compassionate care close to home.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Taylor Baxter, City Administrator for the City of Clinton, as we follow up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. And Taylor, I wasn't able to be at the meeting last night, but looks like back in the fire department bay.
Yeah, we'll give you a pass this one time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
About every month, I'm going to have to miss the second meeting because it conflicts with the school board meeting. So, yeah, I give you guys one day a month. I give them a day a month, if that's all right.
That's fair enough.
It wasn't a bad night to be in the fire department bay, though.
No, we lucked out. We unfortunately had to be back in there. That's one of the items that was on our agenda, is getting the elevator officially fixed. So we were back down in there, hopefully for one of the last times. So
all right, very good. Well, let's dive into playground. Has been a huge topic of conversation. In fact, it's funny. I had a friend leave town, and when he left, Kiwanis Park was up. It was fine. He comes back and it's down, and his poor kid just was like, "What happened to Kiwanis Park?" And I had to be like, "They're gonna rebuild it, bud. It's all right." So, what's going on there?
Yeah, that's unfortunately, I've heard that story a couple of times from different people, but it got to the point, as we talked about before, is just it became a liability and a safety hazard to the kids. So it was decided as a group, and Commissioner Ballinger made the final call. Hey, you know what? There's just too much going on here. We need to take it down. But part of the rebuilding process was last night, and we had two great vendors come in, Cunningham Recreation, and then a couple of members from the Melanda group came in, and they just gave their proposals. We had Commissioner Ballinger and Commissioner Wise. They did some field trips to different sites and got to see really what the different companies had to offer, because you can see it like on a cutout that they bring to a presentation, but you actually get to see the equipment and see it installed. It's a different story. So they went and saw a couple different sites and wanted everybody to kind of hear what they saw, as well as what they're proposing for the new site. And it's going to be pretty special. Whichever direction they decide, which they should be deciding here pretty soon, the council, and we should vote on it, I think, next meeting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty substantial project. So, yeah, unfortunately, it was torn down, but what's coming in is going to be very special, and it's going to be a statement for sure.
Were there pictures available last night?
There was.
Yeah. Can I swing by City Hall and take some snapshots?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll do that. I'll do that later today.
Yeah.
Swing by there and do that. But so tell me about it. What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So regardless of which way they go, both proposals had very, very this grand, because that was a huge playground that was there.
That was a massive
playground. So you can't just tear that down and have this dinky little playground. It wouldn't fit the whole area. A lot of people have memories. So both proposals kind of had that castle theme, which was
it's like taking the Jerry Dome and making it into Illinois football field.
Yeah.
So,
it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. So we understand that, and we budgeted quite a bit of funds, $500,000 for this project. So part of that's going to be the equipment and the different features. Each company had different features that they proposed, but one of the big aspects of this playground is being ADA accessible. And ADA is more than just wheelchair. It's sensory, it's vision, it's imaginative play. That's one of the terms that one of the vendors used yesterday. So part of it is going to be in a poured-in-place rubber surface, and what that is the soft, squishy surface. It's not going to be wood chips. It's not going to be the rubber that we have in other playgrounds. So the playground area is going to be in that poured-in-place rubber, and we're going to have some swing sets, and that's going to be more in the wood chips, because when you think about swing sets, kids are dragging their feet. They're not trying to vandalize anything. It's just that's what you do when
it's
you
just the wear and tear of it.
Yeah. So over time, that poured-in-place rubber is going to get significantly worn out. Exactly. And so we felt like wood chips would be a better option for that portion. So part of it, poured in place, part of it wood. Really big features. The playground's going to be massive. It's awesome. Once you see the pictures,
Yeah,
and you
can't
post
wait.
them,
Yeah, sweet.
It's pretty special.
Cool, nice. Where did $500,000 come from?
Yeah, this has been in the works for a while, and we knew that this day was coming, so we budgeted that for this year in our budget. We knew, hey, Kiwanis Park, we're going to try to Band-Aid it as long as we can, but we kind of knew in the back of our mind that this was coming. It was over 20 years old, and you could kind of see signs that, yeah.
I mean, the last 5 or 8 years, there's been some serious issues with the integrity of the structures.
Yeah.
So
Yep. So when we were going through our budget process, we talked with council, we talked with staff, and yeah, it's time.
Okay.
So we budgeted that for this year.
all right.
Yep.
So so taxes won't go up or anything like that?
Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
What is so you said potentially next meeting approve that? What's the turnaround time on seeing dirt moved and things installed?
Yeah, so there's still a little bit of prep work that we would need to do on our end, and that would come from Steve Lobb in our Public Works Department. Right now, there's a huge elevation change, and that makes it difficult for any type of thing that would go in there, whether it was a building or whatever. So we're going to try to make that as flat as possible to make it easy for installation. But they were talking about 3 to 6 months-ish for equipment to be created, dropped off. So we're hopeful that we can try to get something in this year. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Wait, 3 to 6 months or 3 to 6 weeks?
Months. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take a little bit for them to get everything here. And I don't think that, I don't know. I don't want to overpromise and tell people it's going to be up this year. It's all weather dependent.
Yeah, sure.
Because also it's, are we going to want to have an extra winter where it's just sitting out there and it's, there's a lot of new equipment and do we want to wait until spring or do we want to wait or just do it now? We're still trying to decide that. So I think that's going to be a conversation we'll have.
Yeah.
And again, depending on when the equipment's able to get here and be installed.
Yeah.
They have a company that comes in and install it, so it wouldn't be like the city workers doing that.
Yeah,
so.
sure. How about costs on this? Was it where you wanted it to be? Was it a little higher?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, everything, it came under budget.
Oh, wow, okay.
Both of them were under the 500,000, so whichever one, again, they choose will be under budget. And we're still thinking about some other things, too. This park is kind of nestled. It's not in really a neighborhood like our other ones are, so lighting might be a factor with this, where we might light it up. Because vandalism, unfortunately, was an issue at the previous park. So we want to make sure that, as part of the design of both of these projects that were proposed, was sight lines for our police department, because there's kids will be kids, and give them hiding spots, you give them tunnels,
they'll find
bad
them.
things will happen. So we wanted to make it as open as possible. We're going to light it up. We've talked about enclosing the playground area with a fence. So some different things that might be new coming. So we'll see.
Is and speaking of that, is a security system, like with just some cameras, is that a feasible cost efficient thing we could look at?
We've talked about it. Yeah, that's something that Chief Flowers has brought up, and with Commissioner Ballinger and Steve Lobb, we've talked about that. It's definitely feasible. We'd have to figure out, because there's all. Okay, so you have the cameras there. How does it get there? How does it get back to the PD? There's a lot of things behind the scenes, but that's definitely something that, this is going to be a massive project, and we want it to be taken care of. We don't, unfortunately, again, kids are going to be kids, and dumb things happen. So the more ways that we can prevent that, we want to.
Yeah,
we might not catch them, but hey, there's eyes on us at all times. So might deter some of that too.
Tell me about the ADA accessibility of this piece.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. So with the ADA ramps, the wheelchair ramps, there's quite a few of those. There's different pieces as far as, again, you think ADA, you automatically go to wheelchair, so that's where a lot of people go with it, but there are features of this playground that have wheelchair accessible. There's a little, it's almost like a, you bring your wheelchair on and you're able to spin within it. You don't have to go up on any ramps or anything. So that was a cool feature. Depending on which different types of playground equipment they go with, there was another one that kind of had like a net climber. It almost looked like a Christmas tree. It's like this round base at the bottom, and it kind of goes up into a tree. There's an opening at the bottom there where they could go from the wheelchair right into the net, could be spun around. They could hang on stuff. So there's some sensory items. We've seen some musical instruments. We've seen all sorts of stuff that is pretty incredible, and I can't wait to see which final design they pick.
Yeah, for sure.
So
nice. That'll be a lot of fun. Very good. So looking forward to all of that. What did I miss in that conversation, Taylor?
I don't think anything. We're trying to decide what to do with. This is just something random I'm thinking about, but we have. Playgrounds are kind of broken in between 2 to 5 and 5 to 12-year-olds. So we have the 5 to 12 pretty much taken care of with the old playground. We had that random 2 to 5-year-old one that would be the west up past the pavilion there. So we're going to incorporate the 2 to 5 area and the 5 to 12 in this new proposal. That's something random that I just thought about. But
that's interesting. You said that because I never thought of that before. But then I got to thinking of like all the parks we go to, and I'm like, he's right. He's right. So
there's different. With different ages comes different abilities, and not, a 2-year-old can't go up and do the monkey bars. So there's different features that they propose. So it was good.
Very good. Well, that took us to break. I can't believe it. Taylor Baxter, Clinton City Administrator, our guest in studio today. We follow up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. More to come with Taylor on the morning show.
WHOW.
In addition to great radio marketing, the Miller Media Group now offers a full suite of digital marketing solutions. Our affordable programs include custom web design and SEO to help you get found on Google. Seeking more inbound web and store traffic? Our Facebook, YouTube, and geo-targeted marketing programs are all designed to make your cash register ring. To get started, call your Miller Media account manager or go to mmgdigitalnow.com. Miller Media Digital, where digital becomes local.
WHOW is Central Illinois' Ag Station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW AM, FM, and streamed online.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online, 24 hours a day.
Are you wanting to learn more about your health and wellness options in Central Illinois? Visit stealthwellness.com or click on my banner ad at DeWittDailyNews.com. Let me, Dr. Bill Byers, show you some simple, under-the-radar ways to improve and take control of your health.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio today is Clinton City Administrator Taylor Baxter. We follow up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. It's still kind of weird to say that after, 3 or 4 years they've been doing those now. But anyways, let's dive into, Taylor, the Santa's Village coming to the Clinton Square. I've heard about this from Janice Peterson at the Chamber, and sounds like the city is getting involved. What's going on?
Yeah, Janice requested some funding from the city for this project. It's going to be an awesome project. We've talked about ADA accessibility. That is really one of the big things with the Santa house that they've encountered. over the years is it's not the most ADA accessible building that they've had for Santa's house. So they came up with a new idea and they presented it to the council last night. And Janice and the chamber requested $5,000 to help them with this new Santa house. And it's really going to be more than a house. It's going to be Santa's village. And it's going to be up on Mr. Lincoln's stage. And that's where it will stay for the entire month of December, it sounds like. And it's really going to be a neat thing because we have Santa's village, but then we're also going to have the Festival of Trees with Nate Ennis and Missy Morris. They've been doing that last year, and it turned out great, and I expect to be even bigger and better this year. So having those two working together is going to be pretty special. So don't know what the building's going to look like yet, but it's going to be a pretty special time down there for sure.
You know, a lot of folks would probably say, Taylor, well, why is the city getting involved in this? Why are we funding this? How about that?
Yeah, it's a community thing, similar to what we did last year with the Festival of Trees. They requested some funding, and we do budget for things like this that just come up randomly. That it's more of an economic development, community development type thing, where this is. If we can help as the city in providing funding and we don't necessarily have the staff, the time, and the resources, and there's other people that want to get involved, this is right up our alley to try to help downtown, to help the community, bring people into town, and really just enjoy Clinton the way it should be enjoyed. So
Sure.
we jumped on it. Yep.
Nice. Very good. Well, with anything on that we didn't touch on?
No, I don't think so. I think more to come. Janice, now that they got the approval last night, I think they're going to work on design and more of what it could really look like. So I don't think at this point, nope, just excited for it.
Sure. Well, let's dive into. We did mention at the top we were back in the fire department housing bay last night because more work on the elevator. What's going on there?
Yeah, this dang elevator is something. It's something. So we've gotten to the point where Band-Aids aren't working anymore, and we just need to replace the entire thing. And that's where this comes into effect. So we received 2 different proposals. Again, we try to be competitive with bids, and we decided to go with a different company that has not serviced our elevator before. So we approved Kone Inc. And people are going to be shocked of how much elevators cost, but this is the reality, just over $195,000. And that's a complete replacement of our elevator. I think they're keeping the shell, but everything, the components, the elevator shaft, all of it is going to be brand new. It's an expensive project, but it is much needed simply because of the fact that we can't even get up to the second story or even to the first floor. I mean, you come in at the lobby level and you can't even get up
stuck.
to the you can't go up the stairs. So it's one of those things. Again, we unfortunately we budgeted for it because we knew that this might happen, and here we are. So just one of those things we have to get done, and we're doing it. So
when will it get done?
And this one's another. It's not going to be a quick and easy process. There's a whole design element to this where they need to basically do an engineering study and design the elevator to fit what we have in our in our city hall, because each elevator is different.
Okay.
And a lot of the same components are there, but not every elevator is the same. So they're saying it could be another 6-month project where between design and getting the parts here, installation, we could be looking at 6 months. But I did talk to them about, okay, I understand you guys are going to be designing it. I know we're going to be waiting on parts. Can we Band-Aid it until we just get that done and we make that switch? And they assured me, we're going to be able to work with you guys now that we're under this agreement with you. I feel very confident that we're going to have a working elevator here shortly.
So what do we do about meetings in the meantime then, Taylor?
Yeah, so what we've done, and we always post the agenda out Friday before the meeting, so if people are curious of where it's going to be. We love our fire department, but we don't like being in there because it's hot, and luckily we lucked out yesterday because it was beautiful outside, so it wasn't too bad. But we're trying to utilize the library.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we were down there for one meeting, but they had a scheduling conflict, one of the rare ones where they couldn't have it on a Tuesday, otherwise we would have been there. So
okay, sure.
We're kind of bouncing all over trying to make it work, but preferably we'd go to the library. Backup is the fire department.
Okay. What did I miss? We were going to do the elevator. We did the, what was it? We started with
The Santa House.
Yeah, Santa House. What were we going to go to next? I apologize.
Sidewalks.
Sidewalks.
Yeah.
Tell me about sidewalks. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot happening downtown right now. We stay on that topic. The sidewalks are getting replaced. You kind of see it around Sweet Maze, all the way behind the vault. That whole section was a disaster, and it's done. It's drying now. It's going to be ready for Apple and Pork, and they're moving across the street. I know there's some empty buildings over there, but kind of the H&R Block building, those, excuse me, on the opposite side. I forget.
Isn't that street closed down right there?
Well, it's open, but what is that Center Street?
Yes.
Yeah, so Center Street. So each side of Center Street is getting worked on right now. And there's going to be a sidewalk leading back behind City Hall on Washington. So really excited. We're moving quick. There was a lot of just kind of dirt time where there wasn't anything happening there, but now they're moving. So we're going to be ready for Apple and Pork. It'll look nice.
Nice.
We're really excited for that. It's going well.
Sure. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, what else is on your radar lately?
More concrete work is happening out at the Park Lane West subdivision. So that was an exciting thing because I've talked about that a ton here, and seeing it actually come to life is pretty cool. They paved that entire addition of Somerset Lane. We just extended that. They got it all done in one day.
Wow.
The entire road and the machinery that were out there, it was some heavy duty stuff. So it was kind of cool to see.
Nice.
So right now they're just finishing some more grading, but we're on pace for our what we've kind of been talking about is being ready by the end of fall. We're I think kind of ahead of schedule on that.
And remind us the vision for that area.
Yeah, Park Lane West, it's 23 parcels. For those that don't know where it's at, it's directly behind Baum Chevrolet, their parking lot there, in between Liberty Village, kind of makes a triangle there. So 23 parcels, residential units, and then we are selling lots right now. We got 5 of them that are under contract. We haven't closed on them, but we do have 5 of them that are spoken for. And I had a couple phone calls yesterday. I sent out another email. So people are definitely interested. So if you're looking for a residential lot and you haven't had a whole lot of luck in Clinton, I ask that you would call me and we can talk about it. I can show you the pricing and what that would look like as far as getting it sold for you.
Very good. Well, Taylor, we will see you next month. Thanks for doing this with us.
All right, thanks for having me.
Taylor Baxter, Clinton City Administrator, our guest in studio today. We follow up the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting. We streamed to Facebook and YouTube this morning, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Of course, we're live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news comes your way next on The Morning Show.
WHOW.